put the lining together to the bottom of the material, and then just you can make this as wide as you like, but and you just do a little seam. Then take the bottom of the liner, or the bottom of the material if you're doing one whole piece, put them together. Then what you need to do, you need to either measure out 2 inches either side, or I use a pipe cleaner to do my gauging of where 2 inches are. Take it a bit in, because you're going to have a little bit of a seam here. So just run it to 2 centimeters, back stitch it at that point so that there's a back stitch on it. Take it to the end, to where the other 2 centimeters is, back stitch it a little bit, and then to the end. Cut it out between the two, and then you take the material, separate it out, and then move it down slightly so it has that kind of a finish. I have one I've done earlier, and I've printed it, I've ironed it out. So you just move it down a little bit for about the width of the hem, then press it into place. Okay, when it's pressed, and I'm going to just quickly press this, makes it easier for doing, and you can either split the hem at the bottom or just push it so it goes down that way and it can't be seen. So that's quickly pressed. Then you cut 2 pieces of elastic. If it's ladies, I tend to do it in a 16 centimeters. Put the first end in, pinch it between there at the top, I tend to do a forward back stitch, obviously over the elastic, so it doesn't, gives it an extra support. Stop halfway, bring the elastic down, last little bit. So feed it in so it just tucks in at the bottom here. So I'm not going to take a lot of the elastic in there. It's only going to catch here, not higher up. And again, back stitch it over. And then I do the same the other side. Find a piece of elastic. Once I've done that, I'm now going to turn it inside, then push out the corners so it keeps it square when we've done. You probably know this better than me because I'm not a very good seamstress. I think you've been doing it for years, so. Okay, now I'll go back and iron it again. See, I've got a little travel iron. I think it's quite a nifty little thing to help. I'm doing this quite quick. I'm going to take a little bit more. Then I'm going to do the fold. Now the fold, it said when I was first started making them that I used a piece of paper to use it, but now I just tend to do it manually. I think it's much easier. So I do 3 little pleats, depending on the size of the mask. Sometimes it takes me a few goes at doing it. It depends whether it's a ladies or a mask, ladies or a man's, how wide the pleat is. I tend to get the hang of it, and then I clip it together with an ordinary clips. I think you can get some nice little plastic clips, but this is what I've had in the house. I'll do the same the other side, and what I tend to often do is sense check it to the other side. I obviously, and half the time end up doing it about 3 or 4 times before I get it where I'm happy with it. I think that's all right. And I'm happy with it, and I think it looks all right. I can then go and sew it. Now I've had a bit of trouble with thread, so I tend to like to do this bit on the front, so it's the nice part of the thread showing. So you go all the way right round the mask, a little bit in, turn it round, remove the clips. If you know any better way, then I'm happy to learn. I'll have my hand on it, holding it into place. Now across the top. Again, it's really important here not to do too deep, because you've got to get the pipe cleaner in at the top edge. You only have a very thin. Should have done it. Right, then I'll finish off the threads. Now I'm going to put the pipe cleaner in, because after all of that I've got this little envelope here now. I'm going to keep that, so I'm not going to sew it in, so that people can put a filter in if they want. I'm going to put the pipe cleaner in the top. This is a long pipe cleaner. I've had a problem with some that broke, so I've got one of these long ones. I fold them in half, and then I twist them round, and then I take a tiny little bit off the end because they're too long. Feed that in at the top, make it even both sides. Someone showed me this and I really think it's quite good. So, and then I'm going to now do like a U shape going round. You've got to be careful not to catch that fabric, or else your pocket disappears. There you go. Obviously got to tidy up the finishing touches, but that's it. That's the mask. Now I have there you go, the mask done. I tidied it up. Okay, I'm going to show you an ear saver next. Okay,